Hey, how's it going, YouTube? How y'all doing today? I brought these cattle in about maybe about an hour ago. I had to get this pen situated for them, and I got them all in here. These were all heifer calves, born on one ranch over west, and it took me about an hour and a half to drive to the ranch. And then I got stuck in traffic too, so it actually ended up taking me about 2 hours and 10 minutes to get over there, and then it took me about an hour and 40 minutes to get back. Now, these are the calves. This is a set of 340-pound Black Angus heifers, and I was told that the parents, the mother and the father, the mother cows and the father bulls are all registered Black Angus animals. These animals aren't registered, but their mothers, the mother cows, and their father bull is a registered animal. And so, this is them right here. I got them. I put feed out in front of them, and so this feed, these animals, the group of them weigh 340 pounds together. So the average weight on these animals is 340. And so I put 50 pounds of feed in this trough. It's a 13% protein feed. I may need to put a little bit extra protein in it because these animals are so small. But my big thing on these small animals is that they need to eat 2% of their body weight throughout the day for me to for me to let them loose. And so just from what I've seen personally, if an animal does not eat 2% of their body weight a day, that animal, especially when they're this small, if that animal isn't eating 2% of their body weight a day in solid feed, that animal could end up having some severe health problems. They need to eat more food. And so that means that I'll either have to start I'll have to get them a bottle, or I'll have to find some other way to get them to eat more food. But these animals, they're eating well. I've been watching them. Their rear ends are clean, so there ain't any scouring going on, and they're eating well. The moment I put them in this pen, they started eating. And for their vitamins, I put some electrolyte powder in here, and so that's why this water's kind of orange. And so the electrolyte powder, it said mix 2 ounces per for an adult animal. It said mix 2 ounces per gallon of water. And so these are little small animals, so I put 6 ounces in about in 100 gallons. And so I diluted it a lot, but I'm letting them the water is just their only source of water, and they get free choice on it. So it's just got a little bit of electrolyte powder in it, just a little bit. It's like diluted, like if it was supposed to be diluted 2 ounces per gallon, I mixed about I diluted it by about 1 to 33. And so I diluted it to 1/30 of the concentration to give these little calves as free choice water. And the electrolytes, it has vitamins in it, and from what I've seen, this electrolyte solution that goes into their water, it does something to them. I found that if like an animal is having difficulty eating, that if I give them electrolyte solution, if I tube them, if I stick a tube down their esophagus with electrolyte solution, and I pour electrolyte solution into them, it'll make them eat. It'll make them hungry. And from my understanding, this the reason that happens, one of the big reasons that happens is because this electrolyte solution, it acidifies their gut, and so it's actually an appetite stimulant, giving them this electrolyte solution. it's supposed to stimulate their appetite. And so you can see they're drinking it. And I put them in here about an hour ago, and they started eating. And so that's what's going on right now. I put 2%. I put about 7 pounds per animal into this feed trough. And the reason I put 7 pounds per animal is because 2% of 340 is about 7. And so I put about 50. I just put just about 50 pounds in here. And if they finish eating it, I'll give them more. But I just want to make sure that they at least eat this much food. The 7 of them should eat about just over 50 pounds of feed. And they need to eat 50 pounds of feed for me to be okay with cutting them loose. And just from what I've seen, and if an animal this size eats less than 2% of their body weight, I keep good track of how much my animals eat. One of the things that I do real well is that I collect a lot of information, and I collect my data accurately. I make sure when I collect data that the numbers are collected accurately, and then I keep them stored away. I keep them I keep a record of my information so that I know what's going on. And from the information that I've collected, what I've found is that if a small calf like this does not eat 2% of their body weight a day, they are going to go downhill quickly. I need to really step in and get these animals to eat more, or I need to, that's where the electrolytes come in. I may even need to grab them and get them to bottle feed on milk, but I need to get them to eat more. I need their caloric intake to increase drastically. Not drastically, but I need it to be at about a minimum of 2%. And if it's over 2%, that's good. And one of the big things about these animals that I found, that these small animals, is that when they're small and they get brought onto a new property, these animals could end up in a situation where they actually end up losing weight. These animals these animals this size, if they're not cared for properly, they could end up losing weight. And so my big thing when I bring in these animals, initially when I bring in these animals, my big thing is that I don't really care how much it costs me. I need to give them whatever they want to eat. As long as they eat it, I'm happy. Because these animals this weight, if they get sick, they die very quickly. And if I lose one animal, that's like, hundreds of dollars gone out the window. And so from what I've just found, it's better for me to just give them whatever they want in terms of food. If they only eat a certain food, it's good for me to just, if that food is extremely expensive, it doesn't matter. It's good for me to give them that food, because if they don't eat that and they don't eat anything else, and they get sick and then one animal dies, the investment went to zero, right? I always say cattle, that there is a possibility for the investment in cattle to go to zero, and that possibility is having an animal die. If an animal dies, I ain't able to get any money back on that animal. And so the my biggest expense is animal health. If an animal dies, it's just game over, right? I ain't making any money on that animal. And so it's in my best interest financially. It's in my best interest in just being a farmer, to just keep the animals alive. And when they're this small, if they're really picky about their food, it doesn't matter, as long as they're eating. If they're real picky about their food, and their food is, they'll only eat real expensive food, it's better for me to just give them that expensive food than to have an animal get sick. Because if an animal gets sick and I have to catch them and I have to give them an antibiotic, that's going to cost me like $10-15. And then the animal could be stressed real bad for a few days, and then they could end up losing weight. That I lose money. And then if they continue to go downhill and they die, my investment goes to zero. And so it's better for me. My big priority when I bring in a set of calves, a little calves like this. When I brought in my calves originally, the ones that I have right now, the other ones that I have, the bigger ones that I have, they were 30% smaller than this. These animals right here, they weigh 340 pounds average weight on the scale. And so when I brought in my other animals, they were about 2.5. And I paid exactly $710 per animal. And so I paid $710 an animal for one of these animals, and they weighed 340 on the scale. And so these animals, that's one thing I realized, is that the moment I dropped them off here, they started eating. They ate. They didn't eat a whole lot, but I'm guessing that they also got a good breakfast at the other farm, at the ranch that they were originally at. They were sitting there with some feed. So, but they did eat immediately, and I don't have any balling calves or anything like that. They're not freaking out or anything, and they look good. I don't see any dirty rear ends. I don't see any signs of scouring, so that's good. And the animals, they're all sisters. They look pretty much identical. They're all sisters, and so they all are from one ranch, from registered Black Angus animals. I'm gonna see what kind of money I can make on these animals, and if I can make good money on them. The man said that he always has cattle. He says he got about 380 mama cows on his property. He's got a 205-acre ranch, and he's got hundreds of mama cows. And so he has calves available all the time. And so if I'm looking for calves, he told me to just give him a call. And so if I can make some good money on these animals, I have another place. And I like, me and that man, we were talking about these little peewee calves when I was over there for about 5 minutes. And we pretty much both said the same thing, is that these peewee calves, when I buy them from a sale barn, it's kind of a nightmare situation. Little peewee calves at a sale barn just do not do good. They get sick and they freak out and all sorts of stuff. And so, if I can, I would rather buy animals from a local ranch than buy them from a sale barn when they're this size. It keeps them away from the getting viruses and all sorts of nasty stuff. But this is them. That's it for me today, YouTube. Y'all have a good one.